out a strong project plan that gets from point A to point Z and really make sure we're covering all of our bases. So it looks like I have storytelling in there twice. It shows you how important that is. On the technical side over here, really when we break this down, we have our warehousing, our transformation side, and we have our front-end development side. So for us, we use a lot of BigQuery, like I was saying before. We use SQL and Domo. We also use Redshift. Redshift is Amazon's version. It's a powerful distributed system. SQL, standard query language, it's really important tool to know so that you can access databases, connect your backend systems to your front end. And then in terms of development in stuff like a tag management solution, I'm looking for people who can manipulate a JSON, who understand JavaScript in multiple different libraries, like a Node.js or an Angular, and then just standard JavaScript. Being able to manipulate what's happening in the DOM is really important. So HTML skills for dropping custom pixels, CSS less so, but it's just a good thing to know when you're dealing with a website. And then tag management concepts. Like I said, being able to use this more agile platform to implement tags, both third-party and like our just standard analytics tags, really important. And then some of the data analysis language and tools. So Python's a great language, super flexible. A lot of people find it easier to learn, and it's really good for data analysis. R, once again, really a great program for doing statistical analysis. TensorFlow, while it's really just a package, it's a good thing to understand if you want to get into machine learning or other sorts of kind of, we like to call artificial intelligence, really not artificial intelligence, but, and then Excel. It's tried and true. It's something I still use all the time. People will use Excel all the time. So that's really kind of me going through it quickly. And then, of course, I'm going to open up for questions. And thank you. Do you want to go back on the slide? So, any questions?
Earlier you talked about marketing attribution.
Yeah.
So did you say
Can you
that?
speak up just a little bit?
Did you say that you are still struggling how to contribute what dollar amount for your website? Is that what you?
Yeah, so we do last click for just regular Google Analytics, but we're currently building out flows that are looking at a multi-session fractional attribution. And so then I can start to say, particularly why it's important is we have sources like paid search and that are really at the bottom of the funnel. Those get lots of credit. But what about these more awareness campaigns, and these branding campaigns? They oftentimes don't get as much credit because they're not the last source to drive. So we're currently working on that. What we're using is BigQuery for that, and then we're automating that in Domo, but we're not 100% there yet.
My question was just about the stakeholders, kind of who they are, or the typical marketing people or sales people are going to use the information directly reach out, or is it sort of more of a
Yeah. So I directly support marketing. I don't actually work with our operations team as much. So in North America, we have about 120 marketers, and then if we blow it out globally, I would put it in the 160, 170 range. I'm not exactly sure the numbers. But what my team is doing is working with our digital marketing team to make sure so they understand are they being successful, how do we optimize, and really all the different teams when it comes to the website measurement. Because my team's 100% responsible for the website measurement. We also are working with our marketing automation team. They need to understand, are they targeting the right people? How can we do segmentation? How can we do audience building for them? And then understand, are they doing compelling messages? I'll work with our web product team in terms of A/B testing. How do we build more functionality? Where are we seeing sticking points on the website? So we do the full range of kind of guidance and reporting development as well as analysis. So that would, it always depends. I would always love full stack developers, you know. Someone that can do front end work and also do database querying, that's really important. But realistically, it's really tough to get people like that with a lot of experience, particularly when we're competing with Facebook, Google, Salesforce. So we oftentimes will bring people in that are subject matter expert, you know, front end or back end or, you know, just analysis. And then we're absolutely happy to train them up to develop more skills, particularly if they're earlier in their career. We have less of like clearly articulated programs to say, I'm going to turn you into a, you know, database dev. But we do have a portal that allows people to really kind of learn skills at their own pace, and then we do conferences and we make sure there's educational opportunities.
So you mentioned about the user journey. So is that user journey based on any subscription model that the customer is about to buy a product, and if he does not buy a product, he leaves the halfway, and then you guys contact him?
So yeah, so with us, we are 100% a lead generation platform for internal business development. We're not based on a subscription model. What we're based on is we have candidates that are looking for jobs. They want to be placed in these sorts of positions. We work with them to match them with the right companies that have openings. When it comes to the clients that come to our website, they are generally, there's two little categories. They're looking for someone down the line. They know they need this, but it doesn't have to be immediate. And then we'll work with them. Our recruiters will work with them. We also get kind of these emergency room. My admin called out. She's not going to be here tomorrow morning. I need someone immediately. So we can get both of those. When we think about our conversion points, it's phone calls and it's these forms. And so they're either going to do one of the two, but it's not subscription based. It's solely driving leads to our internal sales teams.
How do you divide tasks on your analytics team?
Just in general, how do I divide tasks?
Yeah.
So I try to put people towards what their skills are. So, you know, if it's development work, I have a team that's specifically working on development work versus analysis. The two people that are my senior kind of analysts, one is definitely much more technical, so she can do a lot more database querying, development of segments and audience building. The other one is much better at kind of communicating with stakeholders, gathering business requirements. So I always try to use a strength-based approach, put someone where they're the strongest.
So once we have the pool of applicants, how do you help them with the process of the respective companies? Because companies have their own process of maybe 3 sets of things that the candidate needs to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we even help the client, the applicant with that procedure at all? If so, then how does staffing company take part in that role, or even do they even take part in that role or not?
Yeah, when you think about Rock Half, we're a full-service recruiting and staffing agency. So what we do is we work directly with our clients, and they say, look, I have this particular need. I need this sort of person. That from that side, we are developing that business. We're also working with candidates who have different skill sets, and after we interview them and understand what their strengths are, we then directly connect them. It's not really, and this is not all situations, but generally it's, we've connected them, we vetted them, we think they might be a good fit, and then we line up interviews for them directly with our clients. You know, there's some situations where we're doing management within an office or other situations, but generally it's they've been interviewed this time, and then the clients have been fully interviewed. They say, I need X, Y, Z. They're lined up with multiple candidates they can interview with, and then they find a nice match. But you can probably help me better on that one.
So yes, I mean, it is absolutely what he said in terms of working with our clients. So I worked in the field for about 10 years with Robert Half Technology, and so essentially we had salespeople that went out and they really drummed up the business and really talked to the clients about what they needed internally. And then me as a recruiter, I would go out and find the right candidate for what that client needed. So that's kind of how it works.
Thank you for presenting. In terms of the skill set you look for candidates on your team, you gave a pretty exhaustive list, and the common ones being like Python, SQL, and R. But do you see like any important skill sets that's important right now that you don't find enough qualified candidates who don't have that skill set? Any other like rising skills in the industry?
Yeah, finding just full stack developers.
Full stack
It's
developers.
really difficult. Well, there's a lot of them. But when you're a really good full stack developer and you have experience, you can charge a lot of money. So that it's really finding people that are going to work with our team budgets. But in terms of some of the skills gaps that I'm seeing, machine learning, really strong machine learning engineers. That's going to be definitely in vogue for a long time to come. Us to have the machines do these sorts of analyses, because machines can do the analysis much better than we can. And then once they've done that analysis, we put our, human insight onto it, and we extract out the insights. So that's absolutely one. People that are really strong analysts, but that can also be technical, is really important too. So you can use statistical analysis. You can also use some of these big machine learning solutions. You can query databases. That's an in vogue skill as well.
Could I have a follow up on that question?
Yeah, sure.
So when we're like marketing, like let's for example our skills, like we can say this is before we get to the interview, like what's the best way to market our skills? Because we can say we took a course in it, or we did a project, or like what would stand out to you if you didn't have us in